All right, it's finally time for the NBA Finals. It's that time of year that we all been kind of waiting for, looking forward to. We got the Indiana Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I don't know about you, but obviously most people kind of figured that the Thunder had a really, really good opportunity to make the finals this year. But they obviously were extremely dominant coming out the gate and just continuing into the playoffs. But when it comes to the Indiana Pacers, I don't think many people had them go into the finals this year. My second video on this channel was actually me talking about the playoff ceilings of every playoff team. And funnily enough, one person happened to mention that the Pacers were probably going to be the dark horse team in the Eastern Conference. Now, just to be completely transparent on that, I also had the Lakers as a possible Western Conference Finals/Finals team. So yeah, you can't be right on everything. Except for in these predictions that I've had round by round, I'm betting 1,000 right now. And so if you want to check out the rest of the videos in the series, you can check those out on my page. I did the first round, second round, conference finals, and now we're at the NBA Finals. With that being said, let's talk about who's going to win this series. Now, to a lot of people, it might seem very obvious. I don't really think it's really that obvious, to be honest, because you got one team that's a super duper juggernaut on defense, one team that's a super duper juggernaut on offense. Both teams like to run in transition. Both teams like to get the other team turned over so that they can run in transition. You got rebounders, you got shooters, you know what I'm saying? And then also, neither team is like a super veteran laden heavy team, you know what I'm saying? I think Pascal Siakam and Alex Caruso are the only ones that have won an NBA championship between these two teams. But it should be very interesting either way, you know what I'm saying? We get to see some young, fresh blood in the NBA Finals, and it's not one of the same teams that keeps going. But this series is definitely going to be all about ball control. The Pacers definitely have an advantage in that area, I would say, where it's harder to turn them over on the offensive end than it is the OKC Thunder. Even though the Thunder are immaculate on defense, they do tend to run into a turnover problem from time to time. And against a speed demon team like the Indiana Pacers, that could really help them rack up easy points. That being said, the Thunder are going to be trying to do the same thing. This is two teams that want to run, and it's going to be very up and down. The question is really going to be when the game slows down, who's going to have the advantage at that point? The team with the 30-plus point per game scorer that can get to the basket or the line whenever he wants, or the team with the player that can get his own shot or get other people involved. So it's a nice clash of styles, and it should be really interesting. Most people think that the Thunder are just going to wash the Pacers, and I don't really see that, you know what I'm saying? I low-key want to pick the Pacers, but we'll see what my prediction is at the end. Now, I'm going to have a couple different types of predictions in here. I'm going to have, obviously, which team I think is going to win, but I'm also going to put who for each team I think would win the Finals MVP if they did win. While I think that the Pacers definitely are going to have a serious chance in the series, and I believe that they have better shooting than the Thunder could go through a dry spell on offense, and the question is going to be, are they going to be able to stop the Pacers offense at the same time that they're struggling offense? You know what I'm saying? But cutting to the chase, it's going to be important for Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, to not have those couple of dud games that he had against the Knicks, because if he has any dud games against the Thunder, the Pacers are going to lose. It's going to be important that Pascal Siakam becomes that Pascal that we know and we love when he gets in that zone and he's breaking down the defense. It don't really matter who's guarding him. Remember when he dropped damn near 50 points in the NBA Finals on the Raptors back in 2019? That's the Pascal Siakam we're going to need this series if the Pacers are going to upset the Thunder. And then on the Thunder side, Shea's going to show up for the most part. I'm not going to lie, he was looking a little shaky in the beginning in that Denver Nuggets series, but he's definitely come back to form a lot. And I'm wondering, what's the over-under on the amount of free throws he's going to be shooting in this series? Because that's the other problem for the Thunder. That's the other problem for the Pacers. Shea is so good at getting at the line that he's going to get a bunch of their best defenders in foul trouble, and it's pretty much a given against any team that he plays against. But are the Chet Holmgrens of the world, are the J-Dubs of the world going to live up to the part that they need to? When it comes to Pascal as a co-star, I 100% believe that he's going to show up. When it comes to Chet and J-Dub, I feel like Chet will show up, but in a more tertiary way. While J-Dub, he has those highs and lows sometimes, and I think honestly, if he stays in that middle range with a couple of those bigger games, then the Thunder could probably wrap this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Thunder are probably gonna win this in 6. I want to pick the Pacers because I just feel like it'll be more fun if the Pacers win. But I honestly think that the Thunder are probably gonna take this in 6 games. That being said, if each team wins the NBA Finals, who would be the Finals MVP? When it comes to the Thunder, it's pretty obvious it's going to be Shea. You know what I'm saying? I highly doubt that J-Dub or Chet or Lou Dort is going to come out and steal it from him. You know what I'm saying? A la Andre Iguodala. But when it comes to the Pacers, it is interesting. We could have a similar situation to last year with the Celtics where Jaylen Brown not only won the Eastern Conference MVP, but also won the Finals MVP. So Pascal could definitely play out of his mind. And again, if Tyrese has a couple of those stinker games and the Pacers still manage to win somehow, then I think that Pascal has a realistic chance of winning it. But I think Tyrese going viral for saying, it's going to be me, that's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and then it wasn't him, is going to put him in that demon mode where he's going to be like, nah, I got to make it definitive a little bit. Even though his style is really just to play within the offense and, do all that stuff. Honestly, if he does get in that mode and it doesn't work out the way that he thinks, he could be serving themselves up on a platter to the Thunder, to be quite honest. That being said, that's the video. Love ya. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe. Comment your thoughts. I want to know who you think is going to win the NBA Finals. Goodbye.